Our coverage of USL League One brings us to the outskirts of Omaha, where Los Buhos return home with a chance to make league history, but they face off against a Lexington side desperate for points in the playoff chase. It's USL League One presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. We say hello and welcome here from Werner Park in Omaha, Nebraska. This is a Union Omaha side in prime position to claim a second consecutive Players' Shield title, and they've done it on their depth. 5 different players with 5 or more goals in all competitions. Yes, Dolabella and Dos Santos, the usual suspects leading things, but 3 key wingers in Kungo Rodriguez and Joe Gallardo, who have all stepped up to aid their efforts. It is no surprise this Omaha team boasts the best attack in all of USL League One. And, well, when you look at Omaha, it's not just the Dolabella and Dos Santos show, and these numbers pretty much illuminate that. In fact, without Dolabella or Dos Santos, Omaha with a higher winning percentage and more goals per game. It's a completely odd disparity when you consider, obviously, Dolabella and Dos Santos pace this side going forward, but it speaks to the squad Dom Casciato has built. One of the top sides, top to bottom, in USL League One. Now, on the other side of things, Lexington, they entered the year expected to contend with Omaha. But here's the issue. They've dropped 15 points, the most in the league from winning positions, and it happened again last weekend at Greenville. Led 1-0 at halftime, then conceded twice in the second half. This own goal from Kalen Fox leveling things, and then, well, moments later, Sebastian Velasquez, a banger that will undoubtedly be one of the top goals of the match week. It's scenarios like this which have cost Lexington key results in league play. And when you look at the table, those 15 points, crucial. This is a Lexington side that now sits 4 points south of the 8th and final playoff spot. If they even earn half of those 15 points, they're comfortably in the top 8. Meanwhile, Union Omaha, they are a side known for grinding out results. How about this? 4 points clear. If they win and Madison drops points, they claim a second straight Players' Shield title, a side that could do it with 2 matches to play. We are just about set for kickoff here from Werner Park. It is Union Omaha and Lexington in a major battle at the tail end of the USL League One season. Stick with us, lineups and kickoff when we return from Omaha.
People, place, purpose. These are the pillars of Union Omaha, our 3 stars which guide the club along the paths to success. As the winningest club in USL League One history, we've relished memorable moments within each and every season that have kept us hungry for more. But it's not just about the wins, the players, the highlights, or the trophies. It's about you, our Omaha. All of us joining together and fostering a union that stands for much more than the sport we love. The way we come together as one community to celebrate and commiserate, to stand up for what's right and to protect our own is what makes this club, this organization, and you one of a kind. One city, one club, always. One means all.
My name is Blake Malone.
My name is Anderson Holt.
Wallace Lapsley.
And I play center back for Union Omaha.
And I'm a center back for Union Omaha.
Goalkeeper.
So when I first got to Union Omaha, I found out that the USL and Union Omaha have a very close relationship with Bellevue University because they provided me with an opportunity to extend my education and further my ability to seek out knowledge.
I chose Bellevue University to pursue my education because it provided a convenient way to both manage my career as a professional soccer player, but also continue to pursue my academic interests and pursuits.
Getting a degree will be just opening up a bunch of doors for me that I didn't have possible before. A college degree is still very powerful at this time, and it means a lot to show that you have the dedication to stick out a plan through college while I'm pursuing professional soccer, and I think that will show a lot.
We welcome you back here from Werner Park in Papillion, Nebraska. Just about set for kickoff to begin the third to last match week in USL League One, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. It's time to get a look at our starting lineups tonight, presented by Rotella's Italian Bakery. Looking at Union Omaha, a trio of changes from the scoreless draw at Richmond last Saturday. The notable reintroduction, Joe Gallardo in place of Aaron Gomez, who's suspended after receiving a second yellow card last week. Rashid Nuhu anchoring the back line between the sticks. On the other side of things for Lexington, two changes for Darren Powell, a pair of his starters from last week unavailable tonight. Kalen Fox is ill, so CC Uche steps up and replaces him in the heart of defense. Meanwhile, Tate Robertson making a relatively rare start on the left flank in place of Nico Brown, who's battling a bit of a knock tonight. Other than that, though, a very strong front four. Marcel Kennedy, the center attacking mid, and of course Cam Lancaster leading the line with 12 goals in all competitions for Lexington. Well, there is the USL Championship legend who made his way to USL League One this offseason. He is just about set to kick things off. They'll need a big performance from him if they are to get a much-needed result on the road tonight. Well, the stakes are clear. For Union Omaha, the quest for a second straight Players' Shield runs through Werner Park. Dom Casciato said it's a match-by-match scenario. They need to lock in on Lexington. On the other side, Darren Powell's bunch almost needs at least a point tonight to keep themselves afloat in the chase for the top 8. It is Omaha standing over it. Max Schneider will get us underway in the black and yellow kits going from left to right. Lexington in the white with green numbers going from right to left. We await the signal from head official Andrew Mushashe, his assistants AJ Franklin and Tyler Spiegta. Will Franklin, the fourth official tonight. It's a terrific night for football in Werner Park, and an air of anticipation as Union Omaha chases a second consecutive Players' Shield. We are underway. Will it be Omaha's night, or will Lexington make its push towards the top 8? Either way, a lot at stake for both sides. We welcome you in. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action tonight. The penultimate home match for Union Omaha on the precipice of history. Here's Knapp, and this is Kunga. Slicing inside. It's still Lagos Kunga. Snatched back by Modesto Mendez. Dolabella cuts it across, was looking for Gallardo. Well, for Union Omaha, it has been a sensational run of form. They have been almost impossible to beat since the calendar flipped to summertime. And when you factor in all of the changes this offseason, losing about half of their starters, including some of their coaching staff, it's been very impressive what they've been able to do. As Gallardo's cross is overcooked for Akoff. There's your look at Dom Casciato. He's built this roster from the ground up, and taking over ahead of last season, he mentioned how it took some time to implement his desired style, but around the midway point of last year, they began to really string wins together. And of course, finished the year with double-digit matches unbeaten before falling in somewhat disappointing fashion to Charlotte in the League One semifinals. This year, though, the goal has been to take that a step further. They are hunting their second ever USL League One title. Of course, the Players' Shield is the first step to achieving that. Right now entering tonight, unbeaten in their last 5 league games, and even with the scoreless draw at Richmond, they had chances to win it in a cagey affair. They've been playing their best football at the right moment, as has become the standard for Omaha. On the other side, Darren Powell still looking to reorganize things. He's lamented a lack of execution in both penalty areas all season. He said it reared its head last Saturday in the defeat at Greenville in very unique circumstances given they were playing at Clemson University, but says it's been an ongoing issue. They've been right there in a lot of matches, and results just haven't broken their way. They almost need at least a draw tonight to give themselves a shot heading into the final 2 league matches. Entered tonight in 11th, but it is so gridlocked around the top 8. 3 points tonight would do wonders. There is a man who's got magic in his boots, Lagos Kunga. He's bounced between kind of a super sub and starting wing role, but he's someone with the ability to manifest something out of nothing on the regular. Kickoff. Looking for Dolabella. It's broken up by Jorge Corrales, the Cuban international. Lancaster's first touch, and now Diouf. Down to the deck. Well, with the exception of Nico Brown's absence, this is a first-choice 11 in many regards for Darren Powell. Ates Diouf is the creative mastermind. Man who led this team with 15 goals a season ago. It's been filled with more ups and downs this season for him, but he started to get on the same wavelength as Cam Lancaster, and they're beginning to find their collective footing. Now, the last 2 games has been a regression of sorts in terms of actual goal scoring, with just 1 goal in the last 2 matches. But prior to that, had been banging in goals for fun, put 7 by Central Valley on September 18th. It's a side with tremendous attacking potential. It's just a question of whether it can be fully harnessed at the key stretch of this campaign. Gallardo. And we'll switch it for the Haitian international Mishak Jerome. Kickoff. Perhaps overzealous on the challenge. Well, it's always a fun environment at Werner Park. You see the Parliament out in full force, banging the drums. It's a rowdy atmosphere whenever Union Omaha takes their home pitch. Tonight, no different. It's a unique venue as well. A baseball stadium, so the pitch is more narrow than perhaps any other venue in this league. It makes for unique adjustments. It also, in some ways, benefits more defensive-minded sides because there's less space to cover up. There also, though, is very little margin for error on a more narrow pitch in both respects. Many would think it gives Omaha an advantage, but when you look at the numbers, especially early in the season, their best form was done away from home. They've started to sort that out of late with more home matches on the docket. When they go in front, they prove especially difficult to break down. Diouf. It's nearly tussled away, and Kunga latches onto it. Lagos Kunga briefly through. It was a necessary intervention from CC Uche. And comfortably into Knight's gloves. There is that quick burst of pace and individual brilliance that we've come to expect of Lagos Kunga of late. Kennedy. Signed in mid-September. Spent so much time in the top flights across Europe, be it Austria or Bulgaria. Featured in Australia as well. He's a well-traveled man at just 26 years of age. Caputo is hunting Yannick Yankum. Mushache penalized for that tackle. Well, if you're just joining us, we welcome you into Werner Park in Papillion, Nebraska, just outside downtown Omaha. Union Omaha's quest for a second straight Players' Shield comes to a head tonight against a Lexington squad that finds themselves in desperate need of points away from home. Just 3 matches to go in this USL League One season, and a lot still hangs in the balance as Gallardo stands over this set piece for Los Bujos. He will float it to the back post, and here's Mastrantonio was a bit overly aggressive trying to chase that ball. There is the lead official, Andrew Mushache, a veteran of USL League One. Will be directing things tonight. We will see if tempers come to a bubble. Not two sides with any sort of notable rivalry, but when stakes get higher like this, you figure things begin to hang in the balance more. I'll tell you what, he has not been shy about blowing for free kicks. Schneider. It's one back by Yankum. Tucked forward towards Dolabella. Well, for Lexington, we've alluded to the rocky run of form. It's just been a struggle of late. 4 losses in the last 5 games. Goal scoring has been hit or miss, and here in Omaha, as a team that's known for its counter-attacking prowess, the narrow pitch does them no favors in that regard. It's also a Lexington side with a limited history of actual success against Omaha. Just 1 win in the first 3 meetings between the two. There's your look at the mainstay between the sticks, Amel Knight, the Jamaican international. 30 years of age, has been a hero at times, peppered at times between the sticks as well. But he is known for his ability to make a spectacular stop, albeit sometimes hit or miss. Robertson floats it in towards Yankum. It briefly came loose. Gallardo has issues dealing with this. Kanadi. This is Tate Robertson. A somewhat rare start, given his recent histories this season. Kickoff. Always a lively presence on this right-hand side. Has some black shirts ahead as well. It is Aikoff, a low cross towards Dolabella, which was narrowly dealt with. An uncomfortable clearance for Mendez and company. It does go out for what appears to be the first corner of the night. The first Modelo corner kick for Union Omaha today. And by the end of the 90 minutes, as these start to rack up, you'll know who the sponsor is very quickly. The fans are vocal about the Modelo corner kick. It will be Charlie Ostrom to take, who's enjoying a terrific bout of form himself. The Omaha player selected to this past week's Team of the Week. He's begun to make a menace of himself on that left flank. Takes with in-swing. Towards the back post. Was briefly loose. Kennedy only deals with it temporarily, and now loose for Yankum. Has Lancaster running with him. Still Yannick Yankum. Schneider will clean up the mess. Still early in the feeling out process between these two sides. It will be interesting to see if it lives up to the 6-goal thriller we saw in Lexington on July 6th. It was a match in which Omaha jumped out to a 4-0 lead by halftime, and then Lexington made some inroads in the second half, but never really could climb out of the deficit. Darren Powell was optimistic, though. He said a few freak goals going against them, a couple bounces that didn't go their way. He feels they can compete in this fixture much better than they did earlier in the year. It feels like, given what's at play for both teams, it may be a cagier affair, especially early. And at least in the opening quarter of an hour, we've lived up to that narrative. Neither side able to establish comfort in possession just yet. Already an early change. It's Ryan Jiba replacing Dion Akoff. Promising young player, but the last sight you want to see as an Omaha supporter is your mainstay on the right flank subbed off this early. Dom Casciato forced into a very premature alteration. There's Ostrom's cross. Comes to Mendez, who will clear only as far as Blake Malone. And now Diouf in space. Waiting reinforcements. Robertson. Diouf again. Known for his dynamism across the board. Pudo may find himself in trouble for this challenge. Well, how about this? Just a 50-50 coming together. Gallardo with a quick turn and didn't seem to warrant a yellow card, but definitely the talking to Caputo received was merited. An early plot twist. The former Minnesota United man Ryan Jiba, 23 years of age, in to replace Dion Akoff, a man 9 years his senior, who has hardly come off the pitch these last few weeks, but here we are at the tail end of this campaign. One of their key starters forced out. Gallardo. It's a flashing ball in. Uche deals with it. Only as far as Malone. Jerome from afar. Ultimately routine for Knight. He's been at least kept on his toes. Would have merited something a little more forceful to trouble Knight, though. Well, we rapidly approach the 20-minute mark here from Werner Park. It is Omaha still bossing possession, but neither side has troubled their opposing goalkeeper just yet. Mal Knight's been more involved, but nothing to write home about in terms of saves he's been required to make. Kennedy. Mendez is unable to keep that in play. When you look at Union Omaha, this is one of the banner clubs in USL League One, a side that was founded ahead of the 2020 campaign and won its first ever league title a year later. It's already won 2 Players' Shield titles, but if they are to lock it up, it would be their first back-to-back sequence. Dolabella looking for Jiba. He's stabbed away at the second time of asking. Omaha starting to twist the screws a bit. And you see the stakes on your screen. If Omaha wins and Madison drops points, they will lock up their second straight Supporters' Shield. They'd be the first club to do it in back-to-back years. Now the question is, having already clinched a playoff spot, can they push on and win a second title? That's the burning subject on fans' minds. Tom Casciato was proud of his side's accomplishments last year, but he's quick to mention the pain his side felt when they were eliminated on penalties against Charlotte on this very ground about a year ago. There's still plenty of unfinished business to attend to for Los Bujos. Fans, check out all the exciting postseason action starting in November. So there's the low effort from Schneider. Still loose for Omaha. Kunga. Kunga again. Gallardo tries from afar. Not able to pick out the top corner, but audacious nonetheless. All right, fans, check out all the exciting postseason action starting in November as the USL playoffs presented by Terminix showcase the top teams battling it out for the ultimate prize. Go to USLLeague1.com for all of the latest playoff information. We are beyond the 20-minute mark here from Warner Park. Could we see both these teams in the USL League One playoffs? We know Omaha will be there, presumably as one of the top seeds. Lexington needs a result to try to make up ground and get themselves into that playoff chase. Youth is still prone on the pitch after that challenge. They entered tonight 4 points south of the playoff line, still with plenty of work to do. As you see Diouf here, so dangerous in the center of the park, just shoved in the back there. That's what leads to the foul. Didn't look to be anything more egregious than that, though. Kennedy floating it into the box. Not only as far as Christian Liu Young. One of the few men on the pitch with a League One title in his locker. Won it with North Carolina last year. Corrales. Dangerous ball in. Still loose. Yankum got a touch to it. Finally bashed clear by Mishak Jerome. Caputo. There were no men in white waiting that. Lexington seems comfortable in the role of counter-aggressor, though. Not shy about making Omaha break them down. Ostrom. In blistering form at the minute. Well, there is your look at one of the new additions for Union Omaha. A side that's not been shy about adding reinforcements mid-season. Ostrom, one of those who has stood out as that goes out for the second Modelo corner kick of the afternoon. Just look out for number 20 in black on that left flank. He's dangerous in possession. He's flashed a bit of goal-scoring repertoire these last few weeks as well. And a set-piece menace as well. Gallardo's the man standing over it this time, taking the second Modelo corner kick of this first half. Knapp. Brought down, and the whistle will sound against Cam Lancaster, much to the chagrin of the standout striker. Not a lot in this. There was a coming together, though. Gallardo smartly going down to sell it. Can Omaha manufacture its first legitimate chance of this match? It is a makeshift corner kick here. From a much tighter angle at that. Dink towards the back post. Dolabella got a touch. Charged away, only as far as the substitute, Ryan Jiba. Kunga. Hunting Dolabella, who's been left on an island for much of this first half so far. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish-language sports network. Select matches, including the championship final, will be available in Spanish throughout the rest of the season. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Chiba's venturing forward, has a hit, and it drew the palms of a Mal Knight into action. It will go out for a corner. Omaha continuing to threaten. Well, there's the substitute, Jiba, getting involved. He manages to delete Tate Robertson here. Tries for the curler. Perhaps caught between two minds, because Dolabella was right in the vicinity. They will happily settle for another set piece. The third Modelo corner kick of the afternoon. Joe Gallardo is slowly getting target practice from this far side. With in swing. Toward the back post. Nearly got his head to it. And it comes out to Ryan Jiba again. Diouf. Hunting Yankum. And Ostrom doing just enough to win the foot race. We are beyond the midway point of this first half. Still no score between Union Omaha, the league leaders, and Lexington SC. The side trying to push up the league table before it's too late. As things stand, a cagey affair. Lexington not trying to give too much away by pushing numbers forward. Omaha, on the other hand, just struggling to break them down at the minute. A side that, oddly enough, has not found the back of the net in about a match and a half's time now. Lexington's only goal in the last 2.5 matches was an own goal, so both sides in a slight drought. Gallardo looking to change that. Charging into the area. Can't quite wrap his foot around it. It comes loose to Brandon Knapp. Schneider, Indy 11 loanee. Ostrom. Gallardo. And the Lexington man is downed in that interchange. It is Modesto Mendez who's slow to get up. May have taken a ball to the face here. Oh, that exactly he did. Might leave a nasty bruise in the morning. He's one of the more experienced defenders on this Lexington back line. A Cuban international himself who has played in the USL Championship with the likes of Hartford Athletic. There will be a yellow card shown at the end of all of that. It's CC Uche who's actually booked. Yellow cards presented by Herdat Sports Bar and Grill. So the first man in the book, and it is a Lexington individual. has been a match of fits and starts so far. Neither set of attackers properly able to get uncorked. It's been especially quiet for Dolabella and Lancaster, the two men leading their respective lines tonight, and the two top scorers for their respective sides. Unsurprisingly, drawing the attention of the opposing back lines. Meanwhile, that man has been a spectator for large parts of the night. Amal Knight, and especially his counterpart, Rashid Nuhu, has not been called into action yet. In fact, I don't believe he's touched the ball throughout this opening half hour. That tells you about the narrative of this match so far. Kunga. Ushering it along to Jiba. Here is Kunga again. Right into the brick wall that is Jorge Corrales. Here's Jiba's cross. It is stood up. Only as far as Jerome, though. And now ushered loose. Lancaster and Diouf giving chase. It will stay in play for Ates Diouf. Has an open field to run into as well. Malone equal to it. And we'll salvage a corner from that. Well, on a bigger pitch, you wonder if Diouf has the space and time required to really run at the defense, but such a narrow dimensions here at Werner Park. It is advantage defense in every regard. It will set up Tate Robertson, though, for Lexington's first corner of the day. He's been regarded as a set-piece maestro. With in-swing toward the back post. Dolabella got his head to it. Now back for Robertson again. This cross is inviting, flicked along, and just wide. Uche got his head to it. Flag may have been raised anyways, but the first proper chance of the match for Lexington goes begging. It's a good header from Corrales to usher this on. And a decent ball with plenty of whip from Robertson. Uche just can't put it on target, and it would have been a question of offside regardless. Either way, Lexington at least throwing warning shots across the bow. Kennedy. We are beyond the half-hour mark. The question still remains, will either side or a legitimate effort at the opposing goal? Kunga would be a man tipped to do so. He's weaving through white shirts. Falls for Yannick Yankum, the Maltese international. Under fire from Kunga. Knight, an awkward clearance. It appears Lexington will be forced to deal with an unforced error in this scenario. Another Modelo corner kick in the offing for Omaha. It's Gallardo's third opportunity to deliver within swing. Is there something to elevate this fan base before halftime? Gallardo delivering it. It is cleaned comfortably by Knight. He's the only real goalkeeper that Lexington's ever properly known. Austin Causey did have a stint in the 11 to begin their inaugural season last year, but by mid-May, Amal Knight etched his name into the lineup. Stopped a massive penalty against Charlotte Independence in stoppage time as part of a dominant performance. And since then, he has been tipped on a weekly basis to start. On the other side of things, it's been a man who's been a mainstay for 5 years, and we're actually getting our first proper look at him tonight. Rashid Nuhu, the captain at 28 years of age. Dom Casciato heaps praise on him, says he's the best keeper in the league and has been for multiple years' time at this stage, and has the Gold Glove Awards in his trophy case to at least make the argument. So far tonight, not called into action at all. He is the bearer of 3 consecutive clean sheets, though. It's been over 300 minutes now since he's conceded. It's partially a testament to his backline, partially a testament to his efforts as well. So far, though, it is shaping up to be much like last week for Omaha, a match that featured 3 combined shots on goal in the scoreless draw at Richmond Kickers. There will be a question over whether they can find a way to unlock Lexington before the break. Jiba. This is Blake Malone. Dangerous ball in, was looking for Dolabella. Knight is unable to prevent that from going out of play. Lexington a bit out of sorts these last few minutes. It is Jiba to take the 5th Modelo corner kick of this first half. With in swing, back post. He can't pick out Malone. Schneider winning it back. Clear towards Lancaster. A rare touch of the ball for him in this first half. Diouf. Our white shirts up there for Lexington. Game plan is clear here for Lexington. They're trying to absorb pressure and counter. They've had no space to do so. It's been expert recoveries from Omaha, and they haven't overcompromised themselves chasing a victory tonight, at least thus far. You would have figured at home they'd come out a little more assertive, at least in terms of devoting those wingbacks forward. They've only charged ahead in bits and spurts. Dolabella. Tussled off it. Robertson. Here at the business end of this first half. So far, no business for either keeper to handle. Jiba. Outwits Diouf. Malone, the former Rapids 2-man. And now Gallardo, the League One veteran. A brilliant overlapping run from Ostrom. It is headed along, and it is a poorly dealt with clearance. Miscommunication, it seems, between Mendez and Uche, and well, Lexington could have paid the price for this. It's a great run from Ostrom. And you see Mendez trying to head this clear. Instead, it nearly goes goalward. He's very fortunate that maintained the elevation. Otherwise, it could have been quite problematic. Another Modelo corner kick for Joe Gallardo. there are some nerves to at least manage if you're Lexington. Hooked in. This time Uche has no issues heading clear. The story in this first half, Lexington's inability to play out of this Omaha press. It's been repeatedly on display. Ostrom is hunting Dolabella. This is Yankum. Jiba in plenty of space now. Kunga. Gallardo flopping flanks at the moment. Darting it in. Ostrom flicks it along. No trouble for Knight. But Omaha beginning to pick out spots in the attacking third. Frustrating half for number 9 in black and yellow. The Marshall product who has exponentially increased his goal scoring output. In fact, he's doubled it in all competitions compared to last year. Has been in and out of the lineup of late, though. He's battled red card suspensions these last couple months. Missed last week, at least last Wednesday, with a red card suspension for the second yellow he sustained in the first half against One Knox in late September. He's been an inconsistent feature, at least since that first red card suspension in early August. Still looking to grow back into it. Jiba sliding around. Robertson. Lancaster now coming deep to claim. Just trying to force him into this match. Been no touches of note around Omaha's penalty area just yet. This falls for Knapp. Some space to work with. Gallardo. A chance may have been lost there. There was a man wide to deal with, and Schneider overzealous on the challenge. Well, for all of the time they've spent out of possession, Omaha's done well to at least manage the pressure. As you see Diouf there, brought down more by the referee than anyone in a black shirt. So far they've weathered the storm. They've rode the wave like a jet ski. As things stand, they are in position to claim what would be a valuable point. Although when you consider the postseason hunt, I'm sure their goal is more than just one tonight. It is an unenviable fixture, though, when you consider the scenario they face. And Darren Powell has been booked for something, he said to the official. Well beyond the 40-minute threshold. And as things stand, still awaiting our infusion of attacking master class just yet. Infusion of attacking quality, I should say. Has been a tense affair, especially when things progress towards the final third. So far, Lexington has found it hard to manage any consistent spell of possession. Omaha, meanwhile, has struggled to break down an ironclad brick wall of white shirts just yet. Lou Young, a rare foray forward from the right back. Lancaster. And this is Diouf, who's so dangerous when he builds up a head of steam. Robertson. Kennedy. It's a decent ball towards Yankum, which was just overhead and routinely out for a goal kick. There's your look at the Maltese international, Yannick Yankum, who was selected to the Maltese national team for this recent run of Nations League fixtures. He did miss time in September with the national team as well, but in the squad tonight and starting for Darren Powell before he heads to Europe to play in the October slate of Nations League fixtures. Malta, of course, playing in League D. They've got a ways to go to make their way up to the top tier of European football just yet. But Yankum's been a young lad full of promise these last few years in the Maltese international system. He's had his moments as well in a Lexington kit. We're in the final minute of the initial 45. Gallardo snatching this back. Looking for Dolabella. It's stood up by Uche just in time. Alstrom will recycle. And that's crafty. It will go out for one final Modelo corner kick. There's the quality. Someone who Dom Casciano says still feels he can hit top form, but is playing with a world of confidence at the minute. The 7th Modelo corner kick of this first half for Union Omaha. Is it 7th time lucky for Los Bujos? Stoppage time presented by Nebraska Medicine tonight. With in-swing. Comes towards Malone, who did get his head to it. He's arguing it took a touch off Lexington as well. It appears it's an argument he's won. The 8th and likely final corner kick of this half for Omaha. Ryan Chiba stands over it. Back post delivery again, flicked on, still knocked around. Dolabella got his head to it, and Mastrantonio is incensed that there's not a 9th Modelo corner kick on the cards. And you wonder if that's the final involvement of this first half for either side. It's been a slog between the 18s for the most part. Knight is in no rush to take this. I'm sure Lexington will love to regroup at the break level. Punga. Robertson tracking back in support. Well, there is the halftime whistle. A first half in which chances were at a premium, one in which neither side managed a shot on goal of note. It's no score between Union Omaha and Lexington, an Omaha side with work to do as they look to potentially secure a second consecutive player shield. Meanwhile, Lexington, probably the happier of the two sides, spent the bulk of it out of possession, but still find themselves level at the break with no major chances of note conceded. That's where things stand at the end of 45 minutes. Halftime presented by Omaha La Vista Courtyard by Marriott. It's 0-0 between Union Omaha and Lexington. Dom Casciano's bunch hunting that breakthrough on what has been a surprisingly stout Lexington resistance. Lexington looking for the counterattack. We'll step aside here on ESPN+.
Welcome to Financial Feud presented by Centris. All right, guys. We asked 100 experts how many months worth of expenses should they keep in their emergency fund.
18 months, Steve. 18.
Show me 18. All right. Would you like to steal?
Yes, sir.
What is your answer?
3 to 6 months, Steve. Lock it in.
3 to 6 months.
Show me that.
We asked those same 100 employees, what % or less of your credit should you use each month?
58.5%, Steve.
58 and a half. You want to lock that in?
Yes, sir.
You sure about that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Show me 58 and a half. Steal it. You got this, man. No pressure. No pressure.
This guy is 30%, Steve.
Give me 30. Okay. All right, guys. True or false? True or false? Carrying a small balance on your credit card can help your credit score.
We're going with true, Steve. True.
Can you get one right? Show me true. No, not one. Not a single one right. What is it?
Steve, the answer is going to be false.
All right, let's see false.
Yes. It is best to pay off your balance in full.
If you're looking to score big on your financial goals with Centris, visit centrisfcu.org to learn more.
Well, back here at halftime from Warner Park, where it's no score between Union Omaha and Lexington SC. Halftime presented by Courtyard by Marriott. Well, we've had no goals in this one, but last week, plenty of standout moments. Let's take a look at the highlights from the last match week here in USL League One.
Laid off, Gallardo, Joe Gallardo, a marvelous save, and the stick back is a simple finish. Our own goal. Maneuvered into the box. A whiplashing strike. Swings in. Broken up and punched home. Back to back. So certainly not going to happen at this rate. Omaha fighting it out for the first spot. Flung in, flipped out. Oh my goodness! Wow, just wow!
To find the pieces. First corner is in! A header just a few yards out, and just like that, Hailstorm take the lead on the road. And God will take it. Oh, it's brilliant. He went to the keeper's side, and it was so well placed, he finds the back of the net. A lot of bend on the corner, finds Chilaka, and his header finds the bottom corner. Boyce. It goes through, and it finds the back of the net. Good first touch. Juan Galindras into the box. The chance there finds the bottom corner. This was pushed away. That was speculative. It comes through and it finds the back of the net. Top. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Round Shipman drags it across. It's tapped home. Obregon. A 13th goal of the season.
Nico Brown. With the cross inside! And it's in! Christian Liu Young knotting that one home. Herrera. Nice ball forward for Castro. And it's deflected in. One own goal for another. Back to Velasquez. Velasquez takes a shot and Velasquez! Holy smokes! The Colombian Sebastian Velasquez.
That much steeper for the Red Bulls. Service, top of the area. The handball and Waters. Quick slide through. Mensah! Electro has to work on Roberts. Wants the center. Back post. Benton is down. Rebound scores! It's Knoxville. Fernandez. We're tied. Hernandez on the volley. Oh my word! Marky Hernandez out of this world! Short corner allowed to bounce, and it's in! And it's Marky Hernandez again! They're on with Ethan Horde, searching for a fourth. Robles searching for his second, instead finds Noah Powder! It is a fourth for the Hailstorm!
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata! Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
We love each other, and we love this city, and we love this club. It's everything.
I just make sure that my voice is good to go, because probably only got a half to use it.
We used to tell people in the supporter section, go hard or don't be here, right?
Lots of chanting, lots of loudness.
It's electric. It's loud, it's exciting.
195 days they waited. This was a glorious victory at home.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Yeah, trick. I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead.
We welcome you back to Omaha. Let's take a look around USL League One. A busy stretch of news, starting with Greenville. How about this? Ronaldinho, the legend in Brazilian football, investing in Greenville. Triumph joining the ownership group on Wednesday. Meanwhile, speaking of the growth of this league, in Corpus Christi, a professional soccer team has been awarded with the rights to a franchise in USL League One, all part of the expansion of this amazing competition. And then our game. This is peak news. Omaha could win its 4th League One trophy, its 3rd Players' Shield title, with a win and Madison dropping points. And speaking of the standings, here's your refresher. Right now, as things stand, Union Omaha 4 points clear with 2.5 matches left on their docket. Meanwhile, for Lexington, we told you the stakes. 3 matches left. They need at least 4 points to get themselves in postseason consideration. Right now, they're in line for what would be a big result, although they've got 45 more minutes to see things out. Keep in mind, the Madison match is delayed, so we won't know any sort of result in that one by the time this is over. And here is your look at the match week scores and schedule here. You see Central Valley prevailing over Spokane. That's a big victory for Central Valley, who's going through some ups and downs, as well as Tormenta dropping points at home against Richmond, who overcame a 2-0 deficit in the second half. The Madison match delayed, as we mentioned, and then 2 more matches tonight to round out our slate of USL League One matches. Well, there's your look around USL League One. We will step aside when we return to look back at those opening 45 minutes.
To be a part of Nebraska medicine
Hi, welcome.
Good to see you. Is to be a part of something extraordinary.
Nebraska Medicine, how may I help you?
Because these are the doors
How are you?
that open doors
That went really well.
to growth
Hey.
and opportunity for each other and for our community. For those who know that the academic experience,
You know what? I agree.
the life experience that you get here is beyond what you can get anywhere
Doing
else.
great.
And that's exactly why here is where you belong. Nebraska medicine, together extraordinary.
Hey everyone, welcome to Power One. We'll swim through some foundational postures in this class. It is always the exact same class. If you're looking to spice things up, we do offer 1.5s, which are heated to 92 degrees, and Power 2s, which are at 99. Our 1.5s and 2s will be different sequences each time and will challenge you in fresh new ways.
Hot yoga is an all levels class, so it's perfect for beginners, or maybe you've come 100 different times. Either way, you're gonna find something for you in this class. We'll move through 34 different postures and hold each for about 3 to 5 breaths. The room is heated to 99 degrees and class is 60 minutes.
Back here from Warner Park, where still no score between Union Omaha and Lexington after 45 minutes. How about this? This kid's getting deleted right now in this game of El Rondo. But as things stand at halftime at 0-0 in a match where chances have been at a premium. Oh, there's the nutmeg. Let's take a look at the standout highlights from the first half. We did not see a nutmeg in that first half until that point. It was a first half where chances, came and went. There weren't many clear-cut opportunities. It was a bevy of Omaha corners, 8 to be precise, but unable to break through once. Then in the 25th minute, perhaps their best chance of the first half, Ryan Jiba, the substitute, cutting inside, has his effort deflected, and the Knights able to palm it out of trouble. There were some signs of life from Lexington on the break, but could never really conjure a proper counter. And outside of a fair few, spotty efforts on the corners, there wasn't a lot. This was their best chance. CC Uche freeing himself on the back post, but couldn't put his header on target. And then as we approached halftime, Omaha began to throw a few more numbers forward. This Charlie Ostrom cross, dangerous. It nearly resulted in what could have been an own goal, but Modesto Mendez fortunate that the altitude remained on that header. Here's a look at the stats. Omaha, a comprehensive edge in every regard. Nearly 60% of the ball. They've got 7 times the number of shots as Lexington. But the stat that really matters, 0-0, and also just 2 combined shots on goal in that first half, both going Omaha's way. It was not a first half where both teams were creating a lot. Both seemed kind of pinned in, unable to unlock the opposing defense, and Lexington no space to counter, which, as we know, is their strength. So that's your look at the first half. Here's to hoping we get a few more chances both ways in the second 45 minutes. Well, Cam Lancaster seems to be enjoying himself despite a frustrating half by his lofty standards. The man who leads this team with 12 goals has been a proven goal scorer wherever he's gone, but has lacked any proper clear-cut chances. In fact, no touches in Omaha's penalty area in that first half. He will be hoping that changes, and Lexington certainly will be hoping for that outcome, because right now they're right in the thick of it. It takes just one chance to pull a surprise here away from home. It will be Lexington to get us back underway, going from left to right. Omaha right to left on your screen. A lot still hangs in the balance for both clubs. Omaha can put themselves in prime position for the supporter shield, player shield. Meanwhile, Lexington still in need of an infusion of attacking output to put themselves back in the playoff chase. We are back underway here from the outskirts of Omaha. It's all to play for still. It's a question of whether it's more of the same for Omaha or whether Lexington can at least provide some semblance of credible threat the other direction. Schneider directs this towards Dolabella. Uche will do enough to wrestle him off it. Mal Knight, despite the fact that he found his defense under fire, it was a welcome change. Someone who's in the top 4 in the league in saves, forced into just 2 stops in that first half, and neither stop was particularly challenging. The defense has done a great job limiting the number of efforts that have come his way. Meanwhile, Omaha has controlled this match in possession. The few breaks by Lexington the other direction have not amounted to much of note for Rashid Nuhu to deal with. Lancaster getting himself into a bit of early trouble here in the second half. Appears he just undercut Blake Malone. Just an unfortunate coming together for both parties. Talking to Dom Casciato, he did express some frustration with the lack of clinical finishing against Richmond Kickers. It was a match in which he felt his side got in a good position last week and didn't create enough clear-cut opportunities. Now in the second half, those chances did pick up. Lagos Kunga did have an effort cleared off the line, but the unfortunate reality is it feels like those opening 45 were more of the same as far as he's concerned. On the other side for Lexington, their play in the defensive penalty area has been excellent, so you'd at least give the point of improvement partial credit if you're Darren Powell. Got yourselves in the match with a chance to pull off a surprise, but it will require some legitimate chance creation, which they lacked in the first. Yankum is hoping to provide that. He releases Ates Diouf. Will latch onto this. Now charged to the byline, space to cross, still Diouf. Was looking for Lancaster, but just a touch behind him. Now Robertson's delivery, it's not a bad one. Diouf couldn't put it on target. Wu Young got into a great position at the end of that, and this is Lexington's brightest spell of the match, I'd say. Diouf gets inside position on Meshach Jerome. Mastro Antonio does really well to push Lancaster off the pace of it. And then this follow-up cross from Robertson, not bad in any respect. Wu Young just couldn't free himself from Ostrom. Beginning to see number 32 in white grow into things. It's a nonchalant clearance. Perhaps fortunate to get off without a foul there. Gallardo. Always dangerous when he steps on it. He's hunting Ostrom. Modesto Mendez was there step for step, and a bit of extracurriculars after the fact. Well, he is a man who you'd tip to be a key player in this second half. Arguably, it was on the receiving end of Omaha's best chance in the first half. See him in a tussle with Modesto Mendez. Little horse collar tackle. Perhaps fortunate to get off without at least a talking to from the official. That one won't be allowed, though. Andrew Mushashe not shy about blowing his whistle in that first half. A number of fouls between the 18s disrupting the run of play. Has not let a lot slide in general. Kennedy, and this is Lancaster. An errant back pass, which Perales has to roam back to catch up to. Yankum. Lancaster again. Decent link up here. Now it comes to Gallardo. Well, if you are just joining us, we welcome you back into Werner Park. First game of this Saturday of fixtures in USL League One. First of 4 contests tonight. Union Omaha entered tonight with a chance to clinch the Players' Shield with a win and anything less than a Madison victory in a match that is now delayed against Chattanooga. But they have plenty of work to do to break down a surprisingly tight Lexington back 4. Meanwhile, for Lexington, we've talked about the stakes. 4 points out of the 8th and final playoff spot with 3 matches to go entering today. They at least need a draw tonight, realistically, to keep themselves in the chase. If they were to win tonight, though, it would do wonders, especially when considering that their final 2 matches are against a struggling Charlotte team and then at Chattanooga in a fixture that you would feel is winnable if you're a Lexington supporter. First step is tonight. Darren Powell was not looking past Omaha, especially considering that they've been the standard bearer the last 2 years in this league under Dom Casciato. Diouf. Shrugged off it by Mastrantonio. Excessively so, it seems. And his reaction after the fact earns him a booking. It's the first Omaha man in the book tonight. Not often you see Luca Mastrantonio lose his cool. It's about the 3rd or 4th time he's fouled Ates Diouf, though. No doubt he would have gotten a warning. And now he's shown the yellow for his troubles. Ates Diouf has become a repeat victim in terms of fouls tonight. They say the sign of a good winger is how many times you get kicked. Hasn't been kicked tonight, but he's been tugged a good deal. Knapp winning it back. Omaha's first sojourn forward of this second half. Kunga. Quick run forward from Jiba. Good looking ball in. It evades everyone and falls to Charlie Ostrom. Now Knapp. Couldn't properly wrap his foot around it. And the fans seem to think that went out of play. The referee disagrees. Brandon Knapp again, the former St. John's man. Dolabella, Kunga, creating some space. Runs into a thicket of white kits, which has been the recurring issue tonight for Omaha. Corrales dealt a parting gift. Mendez. Tugged back by Gallardo, who pays the price. Tactically, it's been an interesting game to infer. At least takeaways from. Seen Omaha opting to be the aggressor, which they haven't always done. They're not a side known for overwhelming teams in position, at least away from home. At home, they tend to be a little more aggressive. Lexington starting to settle on it, though. Robertson. I wonder how much Lexington may chase this as a scoreless affair wears on. Can't afford to overexert themselves too much. Given a loss would put them in a very perilous position. Omaha, even if they do draw tonight, it's by no means the end of the world. But obviously would be slightly disappointing entering the weekend with a chance to clinch. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. A beautiful shot of the Select match ball, the official match ball of the USL and its family of leagues. Nap. Gallardo, now starting to pop up in the half space. Ostrom, an early cross. It's one that Uche stabs out of trouble. Just out for an Omaha throw. Gallardo again. Good looking ball towards Dolabella. He did get his head on it, but it also may have ricocheted off his shoulder in the process. First real chance that's floated across his plate tonight. He's been a very frustrated figure this evening. You wonder how long this drags on before Dom Casciato makes a change. Steven Dos Santos has missed the last 3 matches, but he's in the squad tonight. And talking to Dom Casciato this week, he said he felt he'd be good to play a number of minutes off the bench tonight. Of course, we all know the goal-scoring prowess he brings to the table, as well as the knack for a spectacular long-range effort or two. It seems like that is what this match needs. Things have been so compact around Lexington's penalty area, and Omaha's just struggled to unlock them at this point. This free kick could provide an appetizing opportunity to do so. It is Gallardo who stands over it. The go-to on set pieces this year. Floating it in towards the back post. Malone couldn't redirect it properly. The Parliament is still out in full force. Omaha attacking that end of the pitch now in the second half. A goal would ignite the place. They are being urged along by their vocal support base, which has been one of the better supporters groups in USL League One since the time Omaha joined the league in 2020. It's been a big part of the reason why this club has been a fixture of the Omaha community, and there's talk now about building a soccer-specific stadium in downtown Omaha, which would do wonders for the sport in the city. It's a club that quickly ingrained itself as a fixture in the Omaha community, and now bringing young players through a fledgling academy ranks as well. Schneider. Kunga. Comes loose to Yannick Yankum. Stood up by Schneider. Well, keep your eyes on the touchline. Number 10 in black and yellow. Steven Dos Santos getting set to enter, it seems. And Masayo Rodriguez not far behind him. Dom Casciato clearly beginning to chase this match right on the precipice of the hour mark. And in a match where they've struggled to unlock, Lexington, a pair of players with a lot of creativity in their DNA, is not a bad move to the touchline. That answers your question if you're an Omaha supporter. It's pretty clear they will chase this, especially at home. And as they should. Lexington is not known for its defensive solidity. Kennedy stands over this. come back to the free kick taker. It's Marcel Kennedy still, and he's won his side a much more appetizing set piece. Max Schneider will see his name in the book. Two Omaha men now have drawn the referee's ire. And this is a very welcome spot for one of the dangerous Tate Robertson balls in. Likely won't try from here, but he will dink this into the corner of uncertainty. It is Robertson and Marcel Kennedy in the immediate vicinity. Is there a shocker beyond the hour mark at play? Kennedy with in-swing is charged out of danger only as far as Corrales, though. Now Robertson again. Much more space to cross. And he will win Lexington a rare corner tonight. There are signs of life for Lexington going forward now. Marcel Kennedy gets his first taste at the corner flag. In-swinger barely reaches beyond the first line of defense. Corrales playing it in now, and comfortably collected by Rashid Nuhu, who has hardly been tested tonight. That does not change in this most recent sequence. There are men warming up now for Lexington. It's a question of how much of the chess match Darren Powell plays. He's likely more happy with the state of affairs than his counterpart. But with the infusion of two of the top attackers on this Omaha roster coming in a matter of moments, you'd figure that may change. Diouf gets inside the last defender. It's still Diouf, and Lexington in front. In shocking fashion, the visitors with a much-needed advantage. Well, we mentioned how dangerous Diouf is in space. A 9th in all comps this year at a colossal moment. Game on then. First proper opportunity, and it's buried by Ates Diouf in clinical fashion. Well, he just beats Jerome, and he has plenty of space to maneuver. And before the additional defender, Mastro Antonio, can rush over, it's excellent technique. He wraps his foot around this so nicely and finds the bottom right to perfection. Lexington 1, Omaha 0. And Ates Diouf the provider. Well, it didn't feel like Lexington had any clear-cut chances coming their way. Ates Diouf making something out of nothing. Route 1 play. And what a time for it. His 6th league goal of the season. His 9th in all competitions. And it's Lexington's first attacking goal in about 3 matches' time. It's nearly been a month since a Lexington player scored. It came on September 18th. And it is last season's top scorer, Ates Diouf, who's known for his creativity and counter-attacking prowess. A textbook Diouf goal at a crucial moment of this fixture. Who joined from San Antonio FC last season, has revitalized his career with Lexington, and still with plenty of time ahead of him at just 24 years of age. He has provided Lexington a very eyebrow-raising lead away from home. Yankum. Now Lexington with the wind in its sails. Youth, the goal scorer. That time he can't quite replicate his feat. Youth got off to a slow start this season, as did much of Lexington goal scoring wise. But he hit his stride around summertime. Now comes up at a crucial moment. It's a triple change now. Ryan Jiba being replaced by Misael Rodriguez, the man who subbed on for Akov. And while Steven Dos Santos will replace Lagos Kunga. There's one further in the offing for Omaha, at least as it appeared. They made the double this time. There's a third waiting, though. We'll see if and when that change comes. So Dos Santos for Kunga, and a very attack-minded change. Misael Rodriguez replacing Ryan Jiba, who's more known for his fullback capabilities. We're beginning to sense the frustration bubbling at Werner Park. Lexington jumping to a shock 1-0 lead, courtesy of Ates Diouf's 64th minute strike. Kennedy has room to cross, and just runs out of real estate on the byline. Rodriguez giving chase. Shane will usher him out of play. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. We are on the threshold, the fringes of the 70-minute mark, and as things stand, a surprising 1-0 lead for Lexington Sporting Club. Ates Diouf's 64th minute strike on the counter making the difference, a match in which Omaha has bossed things in every statistical regard, but has lacked that clinical touch in the final third, and now they find themselves behind for their troubles. What a turn of events. A first half in which Omaha did everything right except properly break down Lexington's back line. And they find themselves caught out on a rare counter. Mishak Jerome outwit by the much younger Diouf. And that's what makes the difference. Flag stays down for Gallardo. This cross comes in and won't trouble anyone. Well, the question is, what type of response Dom Casciato's side has? Remember, this Lexington side, unfortunately renowned for dropping points from winning positions. They lead the league in that figure. We mentioned it off the top. Can they exercise some of those demons in a crucial late season fixture as they look to potentially move one step closer to the postseason places? Still significant weight on these final 20 minutes. Robertson. Muscled by Jerome, who does win the set piece. There is the experienced former USL Championship man, Mishak Jerome. Has been in and out of the lineup these last couple months, but when healthy, a key presence in the heart of defense. He and Luca Mastrantonio, as well as Blake Malone, have been three key cogs in what often looks like an Omaha back three. A rare moment, though, in which he was shrugged off it by Ates Diouf. Won't be one he will want to watch back. That is for certain. Malone has numbers. Ostrom took his eye off it. Lexington readying a change. It appears Cameron Lacey is getting set to enter the fray. And that he is. A man on loan from the USL Championship at San Antonio FC. He replaces Cam Lancaster, who underwent a frustrating 70 minutes. We'll see what type of impact he can have. A man who lit up MLS Next Pro a year ago with double-digit goals with Minnesota United FC2. Was a frequent presence for San Antonio the first 3 months of the year. Was loaned out in late August after falling out of the lineup for the USL Championship club by summertime. So he's enjoyed more opportunity off the bench with Lexington. He nearly put Nuhu in a difficult situation there. Caputo. Another man who has developed through the USL ranks. Inside the final 20 minutes here from Werner Park. It is Lexington with a narrow edge over an Omaha side that has been flummoxed going forward so far today. Here's the goal scored Youth. This time shrugged off it cleanly by Schneider. The ball overcooked towards Rodriguez. For Lexington, so much at stake. It's a club that last season, in its inaugural campaign, struggled, finished comfortably below the playoff line when all was said and done. This year, despite the sputtering start, they have added tons of talent, and the goal is to make the postseason. Darren Powell did not mince words on that subject when we spoke pre-match this week. A victory here would push them very close to the top 8. In fact, 1 point away at that. Hughes' ball forward draws the offside flag. And the goal scored dealing with a bit of cramp, it seems. Seems content to continue, and that's a welcome sight for all Lexington supporters here in afar. Dolabella. He loses out, and now it comes to Diouf, looking for Lacey. Just wheeling outside his reach. This would be a monumental event for Lexington. There's the ball forward to Dos Santos, and it appeared he was well offside. Fourth official agreed. But in the previous 3 meetings, Lexington's only won once, and they have not won at Werner Park in their young history. To win at the home of the defending Players' Shield winners and potential back-to-back winners when all is said and done would be a monumental result for this very young club. Not to mention that the implications for the table would be significant. Diouf got his boots to it, but couldn't keep his effort down. This second half, they've appeared much more confident. And while they have still had to weather spells of Omaha pressure, they've enjoyed much more success building out of that press as well, as tired legs have set in. Corrales. Kennedy. Into the final quarter of an hour, Dos Santos nearly winning it back. A man down in the area. Loud appeals from the Omaha faithful, and finally a point to the spot. It was a slight hesitation from the official, but an opportunity from 12 yards nonetheless. Dos Santos doing so well to force this off the boots of Modesto Mendez, who found himself under fire. And then Gallardo rushing onto it was tugged down, and now a red card's been shown. Cici Uche sent off with his second yellow card. And now Lexington will be forced to do it down to 10 men. How about this plot twist? Lexington cruising, a major error at the back, and then the blunder compounded by a red. And now Pedro Dolabella stands from 12 yards with a chance to equalize. Huge swing in momentum here at Werner Park. It is Omaha's top scorer, their go-to penalty taker right in front of the Parliament. It is Dolabella against Amel Knight, who has flashed a knack for big penalty stops in the past. And Dolabella drives it in. Knight guessing properly, but it doesn't matter. Omaha level. And the Parliament rejoices. An afternoon of frustration alleviated by one spot kick from 12 yards. See Uche just bash into the back of the oncoming Gallardo. And then Dolabella, cool as you like. Knight guesses the right way. Dolabella goes for placement, and place it he did. Bottom right, no doubt about it. It's Omaha 1, Lexington 1. Well, there is the 25-year-old Brazilian. Pedro Dolabella's 9th league goal of the year. A day full of frustration for him personally. He does not let it affect him from 12 yards. Omaha back on a level playing field and now in a very advantageous position to man up. Knight threatens to go from very promising to catastrophic for Lexington. Well, Dolabella, a man who joined Omaha last season after a breakout campaign with Rochester, New York FC in 2022. Excelled last year in spurts, had 5 goals to his name. This season, he's more than doubled it across the board. That was his 14th goal in all competitions. Now Lexington making a change. It will be Diouf vacating for Alexis Cerritos, who is young but a veteran of USL League One. We'll be hoping his infusion of fresh legs can at least provide Lexington hope on the break. Well, how about that plot twist? For about 75 minutes, there seemed to be no way through for Omaha. A collapse defensively, a major miscue. And Omaha not only level, but now a man up after Cici Uche was sent off. Cerritos entering for Diouf. Made his trade at Central Valley Fuego the last 2 seasons and excelled last year as a regular starter. Has had his moments this year, but Darren Powell's mentioned it would be competitive for him to break into the side regularly, and he's seen his minutes fluctuate as a result, especially as Lexington has shedded early season injuries and gotten back up to full strength. He'll be looking to make his imprint felt in the final 10 minutes and change. Ostrom, a floated ball, one that evades everyone. Well, if you're just joining us, it's been an intriguing fixture, a first half in which neither team created any chances of note. But the floodgates beginning to open. Ates Diouf opening the scoring in the 64th on the counter. And moments ago, Pedro Dolabella leveling things from the spot after Cici Uche was given his marching orders with the second yellow card. And now all to play for. Everything hangs in the balance in a fixture that can not only define how the top of the table looks, but how the fringes of the top 8 shake out at the end of the campaign. It's perhaps the most pivotal 10 minutes of Lexington's season. Headed down, Dos Santos! What a stop from Knight! A snapshot that he deflects out of thin air. Well, the fire alarm was pulled defensively. Lexington in disarray, and even Dos Santos has to appreciate that save. A half volley laser from Steven Dos Santos, one that Knight catches with his deft reflexes. A Modelo corner kick, but it could have been so much more. Gallardo with in swing, and that is far more comfortable for Knight. His save may have just salvaged a point. Well, buckle up. These final 10 minutes should be a barn burner. Omaha is not slowing down with their desire to chase this. 3 points is clearly on their minds. Their resilience displayed all year, battling back from deficits, battling back down a man. Yankum. Down by Schneider, and the whistle does sound late. Schneider seems displeased. Well, Omaha pulling themselves level from this spot kick. It begins after Dos Santos forces it loose. Gallardo poked from behind, and then Pedro Dolabella, cool as you like, bottom right corner. The goal presented by Nebraska Lottery. That is the magic bullet that has pulled Omaha on a level playing field in front of their supporters. And now it all hangs in the balance. All goals presented by Nebraska Lottery. Union Omaha level and a man up as we head into the home stretch of this potentially pivotal fixture for both clubs. Robertson floating it in, and there are no white shirts to greet it. Union Omaha, so difficult to defeat all season. Just 4 league defeats all campaign, and only a couple have come since the summertime started. Ostrom. It will just be a throw. Omaha has found ways back into matches with regularity. It's been no different tonight. Rodriguez tries for goal, takes a deflection, and Knight collects. Looks long for Cameron Lacey. There is concern from the fans that that was embellishment. It did appear maybe Lacey took a shot to the face. Take another look. He got hit. Seems no worse for wear. Fans, the USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Well, we are inside the final 5 minutes here from Werner Park. Union Omaha still chasing this. Fell behind a goal. They are now level and a man up, looking to potentially solidify a vice grip on a second consecutive player shield. Lexington desperately defending this point away from home. Dos Santos. Gallardo. Dangerous ball. Dos Santos got his head to it, but it was never dipping. But it is a non-stop onslaught from the lads in the black kits this second half. Is there late drama in this? Or will a stalemate be on the cards? I figure there will be a decent bit of stoppage time to decide things. Rodriguez. And it appeared he may have touched it with his hand. That's exactly what Andrew Mushashe is saying. He burst onto the scene with a spark in May. Has since seen his goal numbers dip, but always dangerous off the bench. Has flashed considerable finishing ability, the man on loan from Chicago Fire. Now Lexington readying a swap. AZ Liati making his return from a multi-match absence in a matter of moments. Played briefly last week as well. Yankum plays it forward for Lacey. The flag stays down. Cameron Lacey's cross. It is dealt with confidently by Mishak Jerome. For a moment, it appeared there was trouble brewing at the back stick. And now Liati will enter the fray again. Somebody who has battled injuries non-stop all year long, but plenty of quality in those boots. Don't hand the number 9 kid around freely. Replaces Yannick Yankum in what seems to be an attack-minded swap. Liati more of a center forward. Has a pair of goals to his name in a Lexington kit since joining this offseason. Lou Young to throw. Robertson. Cerritos in space, looking for Liati, who rushed into action but does win the foot race. Advantage played by the referee. It's become a more end-to-end affair this second half. Omaha still pushing numbers forward. Dolabella the goal scorer. Here's Dos Santos. We are now in the final minute of the initial 90. There will be eager eyes on the fourth official in a matter of moments. I think the Omaha supporters will be rooting for a higher number far more than the Lexington ones. Gallardo staying in play well. He's brought down on the fringes of the penalty area, and the appeal's immediately dismissed by the lead official. We've hit 90 minutes, and it is 6 minutes of added time. That is a sight greeted far more enthusiastically by the Omaha support. Ostrom, first time cross. Charged away only as far as Max Schneider, who will win the free kick. and it is well within the range of a specialist in Joe Gallardo. Tension mounting here at Warner Park. And perhaps some infighting in the Omaha ranks. It's quite a bit of a bicker this late on. Schneider seems intent on taking it. Gallardo wants to have a direct hit himself. And the latter walks away quite displeased. It is Max Schneider, the Indy 11 loanee at 24 years of age, who seems intent on bashing this himself. Schneider tries for goal. It deflects off the wall and does go out for a Modelo corner kick. A relatively underwhelming effort, but one which does yield the set piece nonetheless. We've now cracked double digits for Omaha's Modelo corner kicks tonight. Gallardo to take. Hooked towards the back post, still loose. It nearly fell for Rodriguez, and Lacey is now giving chase. Liotti hops onto it. Has Lacey in support. Maybe overcomplicated it for himself. And a set piece awarded. Very late whistle from Andrew Mouchache. But quite the position for this if you're Lexington. It's Kennedy to take. Is there an unlikely hero in white tonight? Kennedy, back post, headed on. Lou Young was not far off. Just couldn't square it on target. Good delivery here. And Lou Young just outwits Malone, but can't steer it into Nuhu's direction. You wonder if that was the chance for the shock winner. Numbers forward for Omaha with reckless abandon at this stage. Schneider. Floated in, it is headed out for a Modelo corner kick, right in front of the Parliament. Ostrom to take. Is there late drama here at Warner Park? Ostrom hooking it in. Headed on, Mastrantonio! Omaha in front! And has that just won it? Executed to perfection, and Omaha has flipped it on its head. An unlikely hero, but a major one nonetheless. A perfect delivery. Mastrantonio flicking it along and nestling it in the bottom left. Saving the best for the crucial moment. And the center back has put Los Bujos in front, potentially for good. The Parliament rejoices. Omaha may have solidified its vice grip on the Players' Shield. It is the 28-year-old Italian, Mastrantonio's first goal of the season. And what a time for it. In the 95th minute, has Omaha in prime position to snatch all 3 points. Goal presented by Nebraska Lottery. Was that the pivotal moment for Union Omaha? Mastrantonio, a veteran of the USL League One, has spent the entirety of his 4 years in this league. He began it with FC Tucson, joined last year and solidified himself in the 11 with Los Buhos. And this season has been one of the key pieces at the back. Anderson Holt is going to replace Joe Gallardo as Omaha looks to lock up shop. We are now beyond the 6 minutes of stoppage time. It is all at Andrew Mushashe's discretion. It appears Omaha has found itself the elusive winner, which 20 minutes ago would have seemed like an alien concept, trailing 1-0. Lexington forced to rush. It is Knight to take this goal kick. Desperately surging forward are all of the men in white kits. Is there time for one final attack? Or has Lexington's fate been sealed? "90 seconds beyond the added 6 minutes. Knight bashes long. Robertson looking for Cerritos. Kennedy unable to keep it afloat. A night of frustration has led to late celebrations in Omaha. Still with work to do. Lou Young. Overlap, Lacey keeping it in play just. And Malone finally able to charge out of trouble. They say it did go out of play, it seems. It was just an Omaha goal kick. Rashid New, who didn't keep his 4th straight clean sheet, but he has his side in a winning position nonetheless. There is the full-time whistle. Omaha flipping it on its head and claiming all 3 points tonight. Resilience on display from Dom Casciato's side again. And now they await results in the Madison game to determine their fate in the Players' Shield race. They can clinch it by the end of the evening if all breaks right. But Union Omaha overcoming a deficit to win 2-1. And our man of the match presented by Platinum Chiropractic and Wellness, none other than who else but the man that provided the winner, Luca Mastrantonio, whose 95th minute header has made the difference tonight and has allowed Omaha to claim all 3 points. What a moment for Omaha. They win 2-1 here at Werner Park. We'll step aside when we return a look at the 90 minutes that just transpired.
We are Myrtle and Cypress Coffee House. We're located in the heart of Gifford Park neighborhood in Midtown Omaha. The idea behind the coffee shop came out of the neighborhood's expressed desire for a place for people to gather. From being rooted in our neighborhood, to choosing ingredients and processes that nourish, to supporting coffee growers and their communities, Myrtle and Cypress connects you to Union Omaha's beautiful motto, one means all.
Back here at Warner Park, where it finishes Omaha 2, Lexington 1, courtesy of Luca Mastrantonio's 95th minute winner. Full-time presented by Blackstone District, where at Warner Park they are rejoicing after early nerves in the second half, overcoming a 1-0 deficit to win 2-1 at home. Let's take a look at the 90 minutes that we just witnessed. It was a first half where chances were really few and far between. This was Omaha's best effort. Ryan Jiba trying on this curling effort, and it drew Amal Knight into action. There were further chances for both sides. Lexington had a couple of half chances on corners. CC Uche got his head to this decently. More on him later, by the way. Just missing at the near post. That was Lexington's best effort of a first half where they created very few opportunities. But then in the second half, things got crazy real fast. Ates Diouf picking this up on the counter, just gets inside position on Mishak Jerome, and what a finish this is. Perfect technique to place it very well into the right side netting. This puts Lexington in front 1-0 in very surprising fashion against the grain of play. But then in the 75th minute, this is where things went haywire. Dos Santos, the substitute, forcing it loose. CC Uche clattering into Gallardo. He was sent off. Pedro Dolabella, no mistakes from 12 yards. Driving it into the bottom left corner, and then the chances really began to mount for Union Omaha. How about this effort from Dos Santos? What a save from Amal Knight, who, even though it came in a futile effort, kept them level. But in the 94th minute, with one of the last kicks of the game, this set piece executed to perfection, Luca Mastrantonio unmarked, nestling it into the bottom left and snatching all 3 points for Union Omaha at home. A huge result as Omaha stays top and potentially claims the Players' Shield. Here's your look at the stats presented by Pepsi. A 16-7 shot advantage, a 6-1 shot on goal advantage for Union Omaha, and they outpossessed Lexington. You can't say that the result is undeserved. They bossed the run of play, but it's heartbreaking for Lexington, who once again dropping all 3 points from a winning position this afternoon and making their postseason aspirations a very difficult consideration. Here's your look at the standings to prove my point. Union Omaha, they've clinched. They're now in a prime position to lock up the Players' Shield if Madison does not win today. But for Lexington, with 3 points, they would have climbed just 1 point shy of the top 8. Now with 2 matches to play, they find themselves 4 points out. They've dropped a huge 3 points away from home. It's now 18 points dropped from winning positions for Lexington this season. Just a brutal stat, which will be looked back on with a lot of regret if you're Darren Powell's side. That's where it ends here from Omaha. A heroic come-from-behind victory for Los Pujols. They prevail in 2-1 fashion against Lexington SC to solidify their grip on the top spot in the USL League One table. We say so long from Lexington, where Omaha wins 2-1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.